Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this ASUS laptop. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look. So this is for thumbnail, okay? Alright, flip it over. And this is a model X540S, alright? The full model X540SA-BPD0602V. Alright, anyways, we're going to be using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to remove the screws from the bottom. We're going to be upgrading this to an SSD or upgrading the hard drive to an SSD. Alright, you want to remove all the screws from the bottom. Make sure to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like this. In the pattern I remove them. Okay, so I already actually popped this open once for the customer so they could see. I was checking if I could upgrade the RAM. No, you can't upgrade the RAM on this model. So if you need to upgrade the RAM, keep in mind you're not going to be able to do it. This one, the plastic is broken here, so I'm not going to undo that screw. Okay, but normally you want to undo all the screws. Okay, it's also missing a screw from there, that corner down there. So yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws. This laptop is kind of weird. It opens from the top, and then you have to squeeze your hands in and try and undo some latches. So keep that in mind. If you're doing this and your hands are kind of big, you're going to have a little bit of trouble working on this. So yeah, again, keep that in mind. All right, now that we got all the screws out, we're going to have to flip it over. We'll open up the screen slightly so we have a way to kind of rest it. And then I'm going to get my fingernails in the gap between the palm rest and the base. And I'll pull like this and push on the bottom with my thumbs. All right, and you can see the clips are popping out. Again, we are going to be lifting the palm rest assembly portion. Okay, I'm just working my way down these sides as well, pushing again with my thumbs on the back, and you can see this opens like that, okay? So I'm not too sure how I'm going to show inside here because the screws are kind of in the way. Hopefully you can kind of see here. But there's a little latch here, okay? Let me see, maybe if I flip it backwards this way. Okay, let's try and zoom in a bit. All right, I don't know what you'll see, but there you go. So there's this white latch here. You gotta flip that. Once you flip that latch, you can go ahead and push the cable out that way. Okay, and then same thing with the keyboard latch here. So there's this black latch. So you would flip that, okay, just like this. Okay, get underneath that latch, flip it, and then once you flip it, you can pull the cable down. And there we go. Now we got the palm rest assembly, keyboard, all of that out, okay. Let's zoom out here a bit. Okay, so here you can see the back of the keyboard. The keyboard is held into this metal or into this palm rest with melted plastic. So it's not an easy keyboard replacement unless you're replacing the entire palm rest assembly. Touchpad has another latch underneath this piece of tape. So we'll leave that and set it aside. Excuse me. All right, so now you can see inside here. We'll get another thumbnail real quick. So, okay, I'm not going to do a complete disassembly of this. We're basically just replacing the hard drive or SSD. And, oh, I think I forgot to put the screw back here. I took it out. So this is the screw. Okay, so I opened this earlier just to show them what was inside. And there was a screw, this screw here. Okay, at least I think this was the screw. I had, maybe this might be from a different computer. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to find the correct screw here. Let me see here real quick. Let me see. I think my cat might have knocked it somewhere. Give me a second. All right, well, the original screw is gone, so I have a different one I just put in. It's one of these smaller types. It's not the same kind that comes out from the bottom, so it's actually, the threads are smaller. So if you want to see, actually no, the threads on the bottom of the other ones are the same skinny type, but most common laptop screws are a little bit wider. Anyways, we're going to be upgrading the hard drive to an SSD. I already cloned it in advance, so we're just going to now that we get this screw out, we're going to wiggle this out just like this, and there's 4 screws holding this in place, okay? Again, I'm not going to be taking the whole laptop apart, but I'll kind of explain what's in here. The battery, the CD optical drive, and other stuff. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and remove the 4 screws holding this in place. Also, the fan's pretty dusty, so I'm going to clean that up. But first thing we're going to do is swap the hard drive out to an SSD, okay? So this one, the drive is relatively simple to remove, not too bad, okay? Once you get the screws out, you lift this out. Oh, okay, the foam is actually attached to the hard drive. You don't need the foam on the SSD, so don't worry about that. Just make sure to line up the holes here so you can screw it back in, okay? So get the screw in. Usually I'll put one first loosely so that we can line up everything, and then loosely fit the second one, and then you can tighten it down once you make sure those sides are aligned. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Get that screw in. Okay, tighten that in place. And the other screw. And tighten that down. Okay, once you get that all in, we can easily just slot this back. So make sure you get the right connector, the smaller one and the larger one in the right position there. Okay, drop that into place, and then push here to slide it back in. If you want, you can kind of push both sides to make sure that it's not gonna put too much force on this board. All right, it looks like the optical disk drive and the hard drive or SSD drive are connected by this board, which seems to be removable. So it looks like there's screws here, and this should actually separate from the main board. If you look at it, it actually slides into place. There's that dark blackish gray colored connector. So this piece, if you remove these screws, you can actually pull it back this way. You'll probably have to lift it slightly and pull it back. The optical disk drive, if you want to remove it, there's one screw here. Once you remove that screw, you should be able to slide this whole tray out, okay? Battery is right here. Is there a model number? It's here, but it's upside down. A31N1519. I know it's tiny and I know it's hard for you to see, but that's the model number right there. Okay, where is it? There, A31N1519. Okay. If you're wondering how do you remove the battery, it looks similar to like the HP, some of the HP ones. You basically just pull this up. Okay, it looks like it will take some force, but get in there and then pull this straight up. Is it stuck? Well, it's actually stuck in there pretty strong. There's no housing around the battery, so it should just be basically pull this up. But for some reason, oops, sorry, you're not even able to see what I'm doing. But it should be you just basically pull this up and it should pop out. I don't know, it's really hard to pull it out for whatever reason. I'm trying to go from both sides here. I don't know if there's adhesive or something holding it in place, but that usually should be it. Let me see if I get this in there. Wow, it's holding strong. I don't know. I think there might be some adhesive or something holding it. I don't want to mess with it too much because their battery is, they're not replacing it. Well, actually, their battery is bad, so let me see if I can somehow get this out. And I know somebody's going to say, why are you using metal tools? Yeah, don't worry about it. As long as you're not shorting the pins, you should be okay. Also, this wireless antenna wire is kind of trying to come out. Make sure that when you go to put it back together, that this wireless antenna is tucked in properly, okay? All right. Okay, so let's see. I don't know why this battery is so stubborn. There's no screws or anything holding it in place. It's just stuck for whatever reason. Okay, so I'm lifting this side up. As you can see, it's coming up. Okay, and you can see it's coming out now, kind of. So I'm gonna push this way with my thumb and kind of wiggle it, and there we go. So here's the battery connector. Oh, I see. So it tucks under. So actually you have to push it out this way. All right, let me see if I can show you a little bit easier way now that we got it out. And also there is a little bit of adhesive on the bottom here, although that adhesive seems to no longer be holding well. Okay, so you can't just drop this battery in. It actually rotates out that direction. Okay, so you can't actually lift it from here. You'd actually have to lift from this side. So one way you can do this is you can get a piece of tape and then kind of stick it to the back of the battery, and then use something to stick it down so it sticks all along the back of the battery, and then you can use that to lift it up like this. Okay, so basically you're pulling the battery up and then use something to push it or pull it out that way. All right, so yeah, this battery, getting it out is a little bit weird. I mean, I guess you can also go from here and try and pry it. Yeah, that works. So if you go from there, you can pry it out. So yeah, there's the battery. Again, to put it back, you have to go in and it kind of twists into place. So you get it. Oh, what just fell? There's like broken bits of plastic in here. Okay. So anyways, yeah, this goes in at an angle weird like that, and then you rotate it and drop it into place. LCD LVDS connector is here. If you're gonna mess with this, I highly recommend disconnecting the battery first, and then if you can, plug the keyboard back in and press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. Excuse me, to drain any residual power. If you don't do that, there's a good chance that the power stored in the capacitors and things like that, if you pull this and it's slightly at an angle, you can fry the backlight circuit. So be very careful with that. I highly recommend against pulling this connector out unless you pull the battery. Again, plug the keyboard, press and hold the power button for 15 seconds, then yeah. Anyways, this is the RAM here. Wireless card is here. You got one speaker connector here. Okay. You got the wireless antenna wire going underneath and then coming back out and plugging in here. The antenna comes out by going from the tail and pulling straight up. Fan connectors right there. And that's pretty much it. Everything else seems to be part of the motherboard. Again, I'm going to dust this off and then I'll be back. But we'll plug it back in, see how it powers up. It should boot up much faster than the first time I worked on it. I'll make sure. I mean, I didn't put that in the video, but it took forever to boot. So we'll see. It should be way faster after this. All right, I'll clean this and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. As you can see, the fan is way cleaner now. You can see all the way to the bottom. Before you couldn't. I'm gonna now just tighten up the hinge screws a little bit to make sure that they don't come loose and break off like how that one, the plastic actually broke off into the back of the portion here. So that piece is supposed to be in there, but it's broken. Anyways, let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Oh, what is that? Let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Okay, so put it back together. We're gonna, I guess I'll flip it upside down again so you can see. All right, so again, this is a little tricky because there's not much room to reach your hand in there. Make sure that latch is up, and then you gotta line it up, slot it in. I know you don't get a really good view of this, but while you're holding it in place, slide that latch down, okay? And then we'll do the same thing. You have to be careful not to let this thing fall too far over because it can yank the cable and damage it. All right, next we got the keyboard, sorry, the touchpad trackpad connector. Line that one up, okay? And then same thing, slide your finger over and latch it down. Right, there we go. So now we got all of that back in. We'll flip it back over. All right, and now we'll click all of this into place. So just line it all up, click everything back in, work your way down the sides. Oops, sorry, can't even see the whole thing. Work your way down the sides, around the front, pinch the whole thing together, okay? Just like that, make sure it's all good. All right, so now we got the thing back together. We'll have to just put the screws back in, but let's go ahead and power it up first to see how it looks. All right, so it should boot up relatively quick. All right, so we push the power button. The first initial time, since it has like no BIOS saved or anything, and we pulled the battery out, that means the date and time's probably reset as well. It might take a while to start up the first time. So let's see, right now the screen, nothing is on there, and hopefully it's just gonna keep restarting. Oh, there you go. So it restarted itself and now it turned on. So we're just gonna keep waiting. Oh, you can see it's booting, and we should pretty much be good to go. Again, we're gonna have to put the screws back, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Since we did a big hardware change, I highly recommend restarting the computer one time, okay? Just to make sure everything is properly set with the system files. Yeah, just do the regular startup thing and do a reboot, And that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and like and comment on those as well. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. Same profile picture, but zoomed in because it's a close-up look of stuff. But yeah, anyways, currently I am putting those review videos on this channel as well, but eventually I'm going to have them separate. And it finally booted up. This computer is like very budget level. It has an Intel Pentium processor and only 8 gigs of RAM. So yeah, let me see. Was it 8 gigs or 4 gigs? I'm gonna open the device manager. Okay. And I'm going to the performance tab. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid showing my customer stuff. So okay, right now the CPU is what's maxing out, as you can see. And if we go to the performance tab, oh, it only has 4 gigs of RAM. It's using 3 right now. But yeah, I highly recommend after doing any big upgrades to go to the shutdown thing and then do a restart. And that's pretty much it. Let it restart itself, put the screws back in, and that's all there is to it. I'll go ahead and flip it over, put the screws over once it starts the restart process. And yeah, that's all there is to it. All right, we'll let it do the restart. This is because it's like a budget computer. It's pretty slow even with the SSD and everything, but it's definitely much faster than it was before. Okay, so it's restarting now. I'm gonna close this. We'll get the screws back in, and that's it. All right, you're welcome to stay as I get all these screws back in. But yeah, all right. So this customer brought me 2 computers. Both of them are kind of like budget line. So the other one, I put in a 16 gig stick of RAM, but with the prices of RAM right now, it doesn't make sense. So I had to order an 8 gig stick. So I'm going to be replacing that one if you want to watch that video as well, coming up soon. But yeah, all right, let's get this back in. That other one already has an SSD, but the processor is so budget level, it actually doesn't even have a actual fan to blow it. All right, we'll get the last few screws in. And the last one. All right, and that's pretty much it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye. Ah!